Discretion is advised.
Ronald Clark O'Bryan lived with his wife, Denini, in Deer Park, Texas. They had a son, Timothy, and a daughter, Elizabeth. O'Bryan worked as an optician at Texas State Optical in Sharpston, Houston. He was a deacon at the Second Baptist Church. He also sang in the choir and was in charge of the local bus program. He just seems like your all-round typical American guy. Now buckle up, because this is about to take a crazy twist. On October 31st in 1974, O'Bryan took his children out trick-or-treating in a neighborhood in Pasadena, Texas. O'Bryan's neighbor and his two children accompanied them. When they arrived at a home and the occupant didn't answer, the children grew impatient. They ran ahead to the next house while O'Bryan stayed behind. He then caught up with the group and produced 5 21-inch Pixy Stix. He would later claim that the occupant of the house eventually gave him them. Later in the evening, O'Bryan gave the 4 children, including 2 of his children and 2 of his neighbor's children, 1 Pixy Stick each. Upon returning home, he then gave the last remaining Pixy Stick to a child he recognized from the church. Before bed, Timothy had asked his father if he could have one of his sweets that he got on trick-or-treating before he went to bed. He then chose the Pixy Stick. After tasting the candy, Timothy complained that it tasted bitter. O'Bryan then went and gave his child Kool-Aid to wash down the taste. Timothy began to complain that his stomach started to hurt, and he ran to the bathroom where he started vomiting and convulsing. O'Bryan would later claim that he held Timothy while he was vomiting and would later go limp in his arms. Timothy died en route to hospital that night, which would have been an hour after he consumed the candy. Timothy's death from poisoned Halloween candy prompted fear within the community. All the parents started collecting their children's trick-and-treat candy and took it to their local police stations for them to deal with it because they were that worried that the candy was poisoned. Police initially did not suspect Mr. O'Bryan for any wrongdoing until Timothy's autopsy revealed that the Pixy Stick that he consumed was laced with potassium cyanide. 4 of the 5 Pixy Stix that O'Bryan claimed that he received were recovered from the police. The 5th family grew hysterical, unknowing if their child had consumed this candy. They ran upstairs to the child's bedroom to find him fast asleep with the candy in his hand. They later found out that the child couldn't get the Pixy Stick wrapper open because the way it was stapled back together at the top, which is extremely lucky. All 5 Pixy Stix had been opened and the top 2 inches refilled with cyanide powder, then were resealed with a staple. According to a pathologist who tested the Pixy Stix, the one Timothy consumed had enough cyanide powder within it to kill 2 adults, where the other 4 of these Pixy Stix had enough cyanide powder to kill 3 to 4 adults each. That is bizarre. What was this guy thinking? O'Bryan initially told the police he could not remember which house he got the Pixy Stix from. Excuse after excuse, the police grew very suspicious of O'Bryan. The suspicion grew even more as O'Bryan and his neighbor only took their children to houses on 2 streets because of the rain that night. Upon investigation, the police found out that none of the houses that night on those streets had given out Pixy Stix. After walking the streets 3 times with the policeman, he later led them to the house where the occupant did not answer. He said that the owner did not turn the lights on, but eventually opened the door, put out his hand, and handed him the Pixy Stix. He did not see his face, but could only describe his arm as hairy. That home belonged to a man called Courtney Melvin, who was later ruled out after being confirmed to be working until at least 11 p.m. that night from around 200 people at work. At this point, you think maybe O'Bryan would kind of confess up. He'd maybe show some remorse, maybe show some guilt. Knowing that the police were going to dig further into this investigation with him being the main suspect, what is he thinking? He is not bright at all. The police investigation found that Ronald O'Bryan was in so much debt. It was definitely over $100,000. It was later revealed that Mr. O'Bryan had taken out life insurance on both of his children's lives months before this accident happened. They also learned that Mr. O'Bryan called the insurance company the day after Timothy's death to talk about collecting the insurance money. His wife claimed that she knew nothing about the new life insurance policies taken out on both children. The theory is that Mr. O'Bryan gave the children the candy in efforts to kill them off to claim their insurance money. Any parent that has thoughts like that deserves the death penalty. Although the police could never uncover when or where Mr. O'Bryan bought the poison, he was arrested for Timothy's murder on November 5th, 1974. Indicted on 1 count of capital murder and 4 counts of attempted murder. This case and trial sparked national interest and the press dubbed O'Bryan the Candyman. During the trial, it was revealed that Mr. O'Bryan had been speaking to salesmen, asking how to purchase the poison. His brother and sister-in-law in the trial also revealed that O'Bryan had stated how much money he would be getting from the insurance policy and what he was planning on doing with it to get away and buy nice things for himself. On June 3rd, 1975, it took a jury 46 minutes to find Mr. O'Bryan guilty of capital murder and 4 counts of attempted murder. The jury took 71 minutes to sentence him to death. Shortly after his conviction, his wife filed for divorce, later went on to remarry, and her new husband adopted Elizabeth. After his first execution date was postponed, Judge Michael McSpadden scheduled the next date for the 8th anniversary of Timothy's death on October 31st, 1982, which, if you think about it, is the perfect time to kill him off. The judge had offered to personally drive Mr. O'Bryan to the death chamber. However, that date was later postponed, and on March 31st, 1984, O'Bryan was executed by lethal injection. Deserved. Now that is one effed up case. I'm not an advocate for the death penalty at all. I do think it is inhumane. However, when there's people out there that are willingly going around killing their own children in the efforts to claim their own insurance money, disgusting. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of this case, and do you think the death penalty was the best choice for this case? So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Be awesome, stay awesome, subscribe, like, and check your trick and treating candy. Happy Halloween and stay safe. Or the Candyman will get you.